friends, and welcome back. Today I wanted to share with you 5 apps that I use to run my online business. Now, full disclosure here, I run my online business primarily from my desktop computer, sometimes from my laptop on the road, and last from my phone. I don't really prefer to run my business from my phone, but there are some apps that do come in really handy when I am on the go. It gives me a lot more flexibility and freedom so that even though I prefer to do my work sitting down at my desk in a focused environment, I still can leave whenever I want and do a little bit of work from the road. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. 5 apps that help me to be more productive, to give me a more flexible schedule, and to just overall connect with my team and get more done. Speaking of connecting with my team, the first app I want to talk about is Slack. So Slack is a messaging app. It's kind of like texting or Facebook Messenger, but it is for business. Now, the first thing I'll just say about all of these apps is that you quite possibly have heard of all of them. I know there will be some people who watch this video who are like, I learned nothing new. I know about all these apps. But for other people, this will be enlightening because I know that I talk to people every day who have never heard of Slack. I mentioned Slack and they're like, what's that? And I also know that just a couple years ago, I had never heard of Slack either. So I just kind of want to preface everything by saying that. So like I said, Slack is a messaging app, kind of like Facebook Messenger or something like that, but it is dedicated for work. So it's a nice way to keep all of your work communications completely separate from your personal communications. Also, it is very organized. You have channels inside Slack that is each dedicated to a specific topic, so you can keep your conversation more organized. And it's also searchable, so you can search for specific words, and you also can, of course, share files and different things like that. So Slack is actually the only way that I communicate with my team, with the people who work for me. I do not email them, and I basically do not communicate with them via Asana, our project management system. I'll talk more about that in a minute. It really is only Slack. I also don't text them, and that's just because I want to keep all of the communication in one place so that nothing gets lost. As with all of the apps that I will be mentioning in this video, Slack is free, or at least has a free version. You can get started completely for free, and if you're working with any sort of team members at all, I would highly recommend it. Next up is Asana. So Asana is the program that I use to run my entire business. Seriously, literally every task that gets done, every project we work on gets in Asana, and it gets very carefully organized. Are you seeing a theme here? I like to be organized. I find that it makes me a lot more productive. Pre-Asana, I was kind of a hot mess when it came to actually getting things done. I worked from a giant to-do list. Things fell through the cracks, things didn't get done. Sometimes I would flake because I literally just forgot something because it made it onto the wrong calendar or didn't make it onto a calendar at all. So Asana is the tool that helps to keep everything organized into a central location so that all the different projects and tasks we're working on are all interconnected, so they all can work strategically together. And it also makes sure that nothing slips through the cracks, because whenever there's something that needs to be done, it just gets added as a task into Asana, given a due date, and assigned to a specific person. Okay, so now we're going to kind of change topics. No longer are we talking about organization, we're gonna switch to social. So I could mention things, of course, like Instagram or even Facebook or the YouTube app. Those I think are kind of a given though. I assume pretty much everyone has those on their phone if they use them at all. So we're gonna skim past those and get to an app that I use to create my Instagram stories. This app is called Mojo. Basically, this just has these templates in it that are these motion graphic templates, these animated stories that you can add your own photos and your own text into, and you can make your stories, your Instagram stories, look way, way nicer. I especially like to use these for doing any sort of promotional anything. So if I'm promoting maybe an upcoming launch or just promoting a YouTube video or podcast or a blog, I find that this is a great way to make it look a lot more professional and just a lot more aesthetically pleasing. Now, full disclosure here, I don't actually use this app that much myself because normally my assistant is the person who is creating these things. So I have a fairly limited knowledge of Mojo, but I wanted to mention it because it's definitely an app that helps me run my business and helps us get the results that we do. Keeping along the social theme, while I'm assuming you have the YouTube app on your phone, you might not have the YouTube Studio app on your phone. If you are a YouTuber or a creator or use YouTube at all in your business, then I would highly recommend using the YouTube Studio app. So this is essentially YouTube Studio, the place on YouTube where you go to upload videos, manage your community, but it's an app. So you may have noticed that you can't do almost any of those things in the main YouTube app. Now that YouTube is trying to innovate more and get people to post more and more people to post, they have added a create button into the YouTube app where you can create stories or even create and post videos. But for the slightly more serious content creator who wants to have some control over that content after they have posted it, the YouTube Studio app is for you. Of course, this is a free app. It's an app that I use all the time when I am, again, out and about, on the go, and I need to do something with one of my YouTube videos. Now, I definitely do not normally post my videos via the YouTube Studio app, but there quite often is some little tweak that needs to be made. Maybe I want to slightly revise a title or add a link into the description that got forgotten, or manage the comments in some way, and that is what I use this app for. The last app I wanted to share with you is probably a no-brainer, but I want to dive a little bit deeper into this one. It is the Google Suite. So I'm talking about Google Calendar, Gmail, Google Docs, Google Sheets, all of those different apps that Google offers. Now, you quite possibly are already using one or two of these, but I love how the Google Suite works together, how well it is integrated, and so I use it extensively in my business. I have all these different apps on my phone, they all talk to each other, and it again helps to keep things very organized. Two of my favorites that I use on my phone have got to be Google Calendar, where I put every single event. So I don't put tasks in Google Calendar, but any sort of scheduled appointment definitely goes into Google Calendar so that I don't forget it and so that I can stay on the same page with my team and also with my husband. The other one that I really love is Google Drive. I use this on desktop and on my phone as well, and it's where I store all the files for my business. And then honorable mention, this is not an app, but I don't think I'll mention it in any other video. It's Google Slides. So Google Slides is their version of PowerPoint or Keynote, and it's a slide creation software. And if I need to create slides, it's what I use, but I use it for way more than that. Because here's the thing, you can resize those documents that are inside Google Slides to be any size or shape you want. So for example, you could make them just the shape of an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and then you can use it to design perhaps an ebook or some sort of PDF that you maybe want to use for a download in your business or for a resource in your course. So you can kind of use it similar to something like Canva or how some people use Photoshop sometimes. But this tool is much more, I would say, powerful than Canva. You have a lot more flexibility, a lot more options as to how you change the things, how you move the things. It also handles documents that are much larger than Canva. So Canva, you can only typically go up to around 25 pages, but with Google Sheets, you can have, as far as I know, an infinite number of pages. I'm sure there must be some limit, but I've never hit it. On the other hand, it's not nearly so resource intensive or as potentially overwhelming as something like Photoshop or InDesign, which is what the professionals would definitely use. So I just wanted to mention Google Slides right now because I think it is an excellent app, not a phone app, but a computer app that you can use for your online business. So that brings us to the end of the video. Those are the 5 apps that I use to run my business. Not just 5 of the apps, but really the only 5 apps that I use to run my business. And they really make a dramatic difference and help me out so much. Also, I just realized that my podcast mic is visible here in the corner of the video and has been the entire time. I'm sorry about that. Probably didn't affect anything, but didn't mean to have it there. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found those apps helpful and that you will check some of them out. If you did, then please give this video a like to let me know. And if you didn't find it helpful and you don't want to see more videos like this ever again, then please do give it a dislike to let me know that as well. I want to know either way. And also, I'm doing an ongoing experiment to figure out if likes actually help YouTube videos. I've been working on this for the past month or so, and I'm trying to keep it going for another month so I can get plenty of data. But your help with that would be super appreciated, so please do give it a like or a dislike right now just to help out. Okay, so I think that is everything aside from Have you subscribed yet? If you are interested in building an online business, learning how to turn your idea into your full-time thing, then consider subscribing right now to take a step in that direction. I make new videos every single week all about how to start and grow your online business and how to market it online, and I'd love to have you join me for the next one. That's all for today, but thank you so much again, and I'll see you back here again next week, same time, same place.